Welcome home. We are WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. We are positively making waves here on the backside of another Super Bowl that we didn't win and Patrick Mahomes won. I'm not doing a lot of live radio this week. For any of you who heard, I have about 78 pieces that I'm going to be platforming at Baltimore Positive of incredible causes. This is going to be the one segment this week where I don't cry. There's no chance of that. Maybe I'll cry with joy because of this. But so I'm working on a whole new script, Leonard Raskin. Can I give you my new script?
I'm all in.
All right, because
All in.
I've seen, I've had some communications people around, and I'm trying to first thing, I'm trying to enact folks to set us on their radio dial, because you came on before we came on. You're like, hey, how was the week? Successful? I'm like, well, it only ran on live radio. So anybody that heard it had to have been listening live. There was no other way to get it, right? So
Yep.
either on the listen live, because I hadn't gotten it to YouTube until Super Bowl Sunday, and it hasn't made it to the website. Nobody has shared it. None of these awesome groups of charities and military and dogs and cats and people and friends and children and abused women and men who need a home and like all the things that I did. Military, I did all this stuff last week. None of it is out yet because I'm stopping everything to have you on to discuss why. So I'm going to do the new reset. You ready?
I'm ready.
Hold on. Let me get a little drink of my Royal Farms Justin Tucker coffee from my cold roofing mug. All right, here we go. And by the way, Bill Cole, he brought me two young ladies from Southwest Baltimore to talk about their school. Blew my mind. All right. Welcome back. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. If you love what we do, make sure you like us, share us, and care about us by visiting our local partners, sponsors, and friends, and set a place on your dial at AM 1570. Subscribe to our work, and make sure you're visiting BaltimorePositive.com to find what you might miss here where everything lives. All right, getting back to the action. Leonard Raskin is
Beautiful.
here. He is Raskin Globe. Was that pretty good?
That's beautiful. That's good
All right,
stuff.
I tried that for John Buren. By the way, here's my little plug for you. I did carry my my Richard Scher gavel around a little bit for you. You are freshly back from Maui.
Maui.
Your pictures
Wowie.
show up on my Facebook. They showed up on my wife's Facebook Sunday before the Super Bowl. So we are like having a little leftover crab soup from State Fair, actually, a little half and half. Thank you very much, Evan and Keith and Kirby. So we're there. I see your pictures. I saw you went to Mama's Fish House for your anniversary.
Sir.
Happy anniversary. How was that? Good?
It was great. You know, what I didn't know, and I knew this about a week before we left, you're supposed to make a reservation there 6 months in advance. The place is happening packed. It's a beautiful view. It's an amazing place. The service was over the top. And says reservations. So I went on and it said no reservations till June. I'm like, really? I got to go there.
Did you go there on my recommendation, or did you already sort of know about it? It's pretty famous.
Well, we had heard about it, but you recommended it, and we had heard about it other places. So I said, okay, we got to get there. We got to get there. So
I mean, it's a really hotsy-totsy place.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You know who sent me there was Mike Silver. Just so you know how you wound up there.
Yep.
If you wound up because of me, Mike Silver, 49ers writer, just covered the Super Bowl. He went to send me there 10 years ago. You know.
So yeah, we went and we sent an email, told them it was our 30th anniversary, wanted to get in, and we're hoping to get a spot, and they didn't reply, of course, because they don't care. Well, it's not that they don't care. They're busy enough and full. It didn't matter. So anyway, we finished out our day and we drove up there. We had a rental car, pull into the lot, realized real quickly it's only valet parking. So you can't like sneak a spot.
You pull up to the little rock and they
pull up to the valet.
Right.
The dude says, do you have a reservation? And I said, no, but we're hoping to sit at the bar, which I heard you could do, sit at the bar. And the menu at the bar is the same as the restaurant. You just have to sit, and instead of looking at each other, you look at a bartender and you turn your head to the right or the left to see each other.
And that can be romantic as well. I've met nice people at bars. Like that's just like I told Brian McKinney. I meet nice people at bars.
That's right. You know? So that's where I met my wife 30 years ago. So 31 years ago. So what the heck? We'll give it a shot. So we pull in, they park the car, we go to the maitre d', and they say, we have your name on the list. We'd love to have you for dinner. Give us some time and we'll see where we can seat you. Okay, great. So we wait, and about 15 minutes goes by. They call our name, And instead of sitting at the bar facing the bartender, we sit at a high top across from the bar, looking at each other. It was beautiful. So we had a
Oh,
lovely table. The only difference was we didn't have a table in the formal dining room area. We had it in the bar area, but I got news for you. Exactly the same. Service was over the top. Food was fantastic.
well, then
View was
beautiful.
view was outstanding. We got there at 4:30ish. We were there for the sunset over the water. We've got amazing pictures. It was a great time,
There you
and
go. That's
we
why
we
you
had a
were like,
lovely
I'm
night.
telling people, I was crying a river for you as I was sitting in Pappas on Friday.
Yeah,
I
that's it.
shouted you out all day and said, my heart breaks that he couldn't be with us. But
Right.
I was saying empowering people to choose their financial. So
That's
when
right.
you see, like, I don't want to say, like, listen, I watched the Super Bowl up at Hollywood Casino. People here really hate the Chiefs, right? Like, and that's normal. We
Yes.
hated the Yankees when they beat us. You hate the team, the Steelers, whoever it is,
Right.
Colts that
Right.
beat you, Tom
Look, you
Brady.
got to beat the best, so they're now the gold standard that we got to get past.
I got nothing to hate on them, but the whole love story, it's a
Me
love
neither.
story, baby. Just say yes. I would just say for all of that, like, isn't that the great story of like your
Look,
anniversary and Taylor Swift
yeah.
and the
Look, I hope
happy
they,
ending
I
and
hope
like all
they,
of
I
that?
hope they are happy together. And if they end up together, God bless. People are like, why is she shown on the TV so much? Well, because little girls are watching and they want their eyes on all those ads. So the more they can show her, the more the ads are going to sell, and they're very happy. Like, I don't know what that one ad was on the game, Yumi or Yubi or whatever it was for the shop like a billionaire. I think that's owned by the Chinese Communist Party. I think it's going to make China a lot more money. Whatever it is, it's like, I don't know. They'll be billionaires, but these companies spend a lot of money for ads, and they want Swifties watching them. So they couldn't be more happy. And the director says, hey, if I can get her on the screen after Travis does something, good for us, because she wasn't on for hours. She's on for a smack. And you see that 2-second shot, you think she was on all night.
Well, I have a different perspective on it because I went to Hollywood Casino.
Yeah.
And dig if you will this. We're in Perryville up there. My wife and I took the back road up into Harford County and
Yeah.
across Harford Road with Conowingo. We saw bald eagles. So we went a little eagle tour, a little
That's right.
back road, took the 222 back down the Perryville, went through Port Deposit, which I mean, if
Sure.
you've never been to Port Deposit, you should go. It's a cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool
Quaint
little
little
town,
town.
right? So we pull in and we play a little blackjack and we sat at the bar and they had a buffet and it was lovely. Fans were there. Guy went on my funny side, Belmont bus 20 years ago. We
Yeah,
telling
there
some
you go.
stories. I had lottery winners, Maryland lottery, the whole thing. So I look up and it's crazy, man. There were children there at the party because
Yeah.
it's not in the casino.
Right.
It's sequestered, right? It used to be a Green Turtle. It's now the sports bar, sports book at Hollywood Casino. And so they had on the big screen above me the Nickelodeon feed.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to watch and it was in about 2-second delay, so you could
Yeah.
get replay. If a knee went down or the ball,
Yeah.
I could
Yeah.
look up and see it on the Nickelodeon. It was crazy, dude. Because at one point I looked up just to say what you're saying, and then we'll talk football. We'll
Right.
talk
Right. Right.
serious
No, go ahead.
business in the Orioles, and I definitely want to know if you had any coconut cream pie or banana
Did
cream
they have
pie.
her on the whole time of Nick?
No, no, no. There was a point where they showed her, and then he caught the first pass in the
Right.
first quarter,
Right. Right.
1 yard thing. They
Yeah.
showed him on the bench, and they drew a big pink heart around him,
Oh,
and the chyron said Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
there you go. Well, you're watching Nickelodeon. Who's watching the game on Nickelodeon besides you?
And my wife keeps looking up, saying Nate Burleson just got slimed again. You know what I mean?
Hey, man,
So
they are
it looked
doing it.
like it might be a
The
really fun
NFL
way to
is
watch a Super
the
Bowl if you don't
NFL is
care about the
doing it.
Super Bowl.
Right. Well, even if you do, if your kids don't care, if you got little girls and little kids and they want to watch it on Nick at Night, man, what could be better?
Listen,
So,
I'll tell you what would be really cool about it. If Matthew ever has grandkids, and maybe I'm
right.
not kidding about
No,
this.
I'm with
Like
you.
I watched it, and I'm not listening to it because we're getting Tony
Yeah.
Romo,
Yeah,
and
sure,
but
sure.
I'm seeing it, and I'm seeing the graphics. And when a guy would drop a ball, it would say up there, "Gotta grasp it a little tighter." It was giving like advice
Right.
like that if you're a kid playing, that this is how to play better.
Yeah, there
It
you
was
go.
kind of neat, dude. So it's kind of
That's it.
eye opening. Hey, you're into the Manning brothers every Monday night, right? That's
I
your
like it.
thing,
I don't need to hear these guys to
right?
enjoy football, but I love listening to the Manning brothers because they are funny as hell.
Right.
And so it's hysterical watching them and listening to them talk about what's going on in the game and have their guests on. That's what's good stuff.
Well, you're about to get Tom Brady now. You know that, right? Tom Brady's about to go into the industry.
Yeah, where's he going to be?
He's going to be the number
Who's
one guy on Fox. They're like
okay?
kicking.
I was going to say, whose job
Yeah.
does he take?
They're kicking out Olsen. Olsen's going to move to number 2 because all
Okay,
the rest of
well,
them are gone now. Romo, all
right.
those guys. I mean, the whole frat,
NBC or
Amazon,
ESPN
Peacocks,
or
and
yeah, they're
all
all
that.
gone. Well,
So I want some more Hawaii before we.
I saw
Can
the
we do
NFL's going
Hawaii?
to stream. I saw the NFL's going to stream playoffs on. Is it on Amazon? Something next
Go.
year they're going to
Yeah.
start streaming. Some other place you're going to have to subscribe. Man, they're
Well,
all
they're
about
playing
the
games
money.
in Brazil now and Madrid,
Right.
right?
Well,
So
hey, if you watched the Super Bowl, you saw a commercial about African NFL teaching kids in Africa how to be running backs or whatever it was that they were showing. So hey, they make it a global brand, and Raskin Global's ready to help people with their global money. We're all set. And we spent a week and change anniversary in Hawaii in beautiful Maui. We ate like we were going to the chair.
You always
Man,
say that on
I
vacation,
don't
yeah.
I don't know how much weight I put on because I didn't have the sense to weigh myself before I left, but I know about what it was, and I'm sure I came back 5 more.
Things are shrinking in the closet. Is that
Right,
happening?
right. The clothes are getting tighter. I think
Mm-hmm.
something's happening. The shrinkage
Well,
in the closet is definitely going on because this was my kind of vacation. So we've talked about the last couple of years. We did a little Europe vacation and we traipsed all over the place. Cathedrals and castles and government buildings and all over.
How many? It was
And
like
then,
6, 7 countries. It was
yeah,
crazy,
it
right?
was
Yeah.
big. And then we did the Alaska tour. We did the cruise and land, and we were touring and going and doing and everything. So I put this trip together. This was me, not the wife, not the boy. And this was going to Maui for the anniversary. And out of 10 days, we had 2 travels. So we had 8 days in country, 8 days on the land. And I'll tell you what, we spent 4 of those by the pool and on the beach. My goal was a total veg out vacation.
I saw your luau pictures. They were
yeah,
cool.
we did just that, man. We did nothing. It was fantastic. And so we had a car. We did the road to Hana. I did not drive the road to Hana. We did it in a tour van.
Dude, no bueno. No. My wife, listen, we've been twice now. We did like 8 days and then we did,
Right?
we did 7 days first time and like 9 days the second
And
time.
you've never done it? Or
no,
you've done
we
it?
started to do it last time and I didn't like it. I didn't like the road.
Check this out.
I didn't like the locals being jerks about driving on it. I didn't like
it. We were in a 10-person van, picked us up 6:30 in the morning. And we spent the day and we stopped at the waterfalls and we got to go out into the water and we got beautiful pictures. And then we went to the black sand beach and spent an hour having lunch and out on the beach. It was beautiful. We had a great time. But here's the thing. The driver, he says, here's what's going to happen. You're going to look for this license plate because this is the letter that denotes rental car. And what you're going to do is as we drive out to Hana, you're going to look at the cars coming the other way. And then later, as we come back, you're going to look at the cars. And what you're going to want to figure out is honeymoon or divorce. He said, people that drive this by themselves, it's either they're very happy and they're in love or they're ready to kill each other. This road has, I don't know what they said, 600 turns or something.
Yeah, it's just a really treacherous kind of road.
It is really unreal.
It's not that it's small or that it's slow.
No, it's
just there's nothing on it. It's kind of pretty at points, but it's not pretty enough to be like I said to Jen, you want to drive a treacherous road that's pretty, drive Route 1 out in California. I've driven that road.
Pacific Coast
with
Highway
my buddies.
is magnificent.
Like it's treacherous, but it's magnificent.
Yeah, I've
this
done that.
Is not as pretty.
It's got a half a dozen
stops.
A half a dozen stops maybe along the way. The good news is with the tour, you don't have to figure out where to stop. And the guy knows how to drive it because he does it 4 days a week. And it was a great day. We had a great time. So, but I will
Don't
tell
say
you.
this. My wife's gonna you know what I'm
Wait,
saying?
wait,
Don't
listen,
say
listen,
this.
listen. We were in a
I
10-person
told
van.
her to get on a bus.
Kathy
I
and
said,
I,
go take a
Kathy
bus.
and
I'm
I
gonna
are
be on the
sitting.
beach.
Kathy
You
and I are
know?
sitting in the back of a 10-person van,
Oh no.
and a couple that's in the second row, and a woman in the third row.
Vomited?
Well, close. The driver said, "Let me know if you're getting sick. We'll pull over. I don't want you to get sick in the car. I got bags." So he pulled over. They got some air, and they put these little dot things on behind their ears for the
Oh
rest of the ride,
man.
and they were
Wow.
okay. They recovered. They were okay. But two of them,
Dramamine,
yeah,
right?
whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know. Two of them were sick. Uh, it didn't bother me in the least because I drive like a maniac, so it was my kind of road. Anyway, and Kathy said, I can't get sick. I've been driving with you for 30 years. Come on. So we went, we had a blast. It was a great day. It was a beautiful day. And so we spent the whole day, but it was 9 hours. Now, not in the van the whole time, in and out and sightseeing. And man, we went to Turtle Beach. Have you ever been to Turtle Beach? Right near
Yeah, yeah.
Mama's.
Yeah,
Right
yeah,
near
yeah.
Mama's. And there's 50, 60 giant terrapins on the beach. It was beautiful. It was an unbelievable scene. I can't believe they were there, and I can't believe it's controlled like they're in this area. They don't venture away. They come back all the time. It's where they live. Very bizarre, very cool though. And so we went to great restaurants. We had the what was it, Sugar Shack, whatever it was, donuts. We did the donuts, did a little shave ice,
Nice.
did a lot of fish, a lot of fish, a lot of seafood, the local fish, a lot of macadamia nut everything. A lot of seafood, lobster dishes and clams and whatever. Um, what else? Oh
Good
man,
weather, right?
the weather was perfect. It was 80 degrees, sunny, beautiful breeze. We had one day that rained. We went to the shops that one day that it rained, but every other day was perfect.
Well,
Sunny, 80 breeze, beautiful.
Leonard Raskin talking some Hawaii. He was actually on the island Maui where Lahaina
Yes,
happened, and the NFL
yes,
was wearing the helmets and stuff.
yeah,
I'll just say
yeah,
this: I've been to Hawaii twice. I did the Oahu first time, drove around, and then I did Maui twice. I've never been to any of the other islands.
yeah.
It's incredibly obvious when you spend time there how passionate they are about the game of football.
Oh
American
yeah,
football. More,
sure.
you don't see baseball
Well, they are
fields,
American.
soccer pitches. It's a football, I would say a country, but state.
Yeah,
It feels like
yeah,
a country. It feels
absolutely,
like you're somewhere else, but it's
absolutely.
America and it's definitely aloha and different. But I mean, the Lahaina thing, that's a place my wife and I love. It's a place we
Oh,
had
same
dinner.
here,
It's a
same
place we
here.
were at 10 months ago. It's a place we kept going back to because we liked
Yeah,
it
we've
so
been
much. We're
there. We
like,
love it
let's
there.
go there and have happy hour. Let's go there and have dinner. We fell in love with this little Italian place that wasn't, it was in a strip mall a block off the way, but we
Yeah,
fell in love
burned.
with it. And it's all crisp, burned to the
The
ground,
only
like the
thing,
worst thing
I
you can
mean, we talked to
imagine.
some people there. The only thing that was left, here's what they said. They said the only thing left in a lot of these buildings, most of them have nothing left, but some of them had the fireplace standing. Go figure that, right? After the fireplace still standing. And they said at some of the restaurants, the steel uh, table, the base of the table, the pole was standing up. So they had poles all over the floor from the restaurant, like the steel poles from the floor to the table were standing, but it was devastated. I mean, the pictures are horrible. On the TV, they constantly run ads about if you want to go there as a tourist, how to go there, what to see, what not to do. But what's really amazing, what I found really amazing, Nestor, was uh, where we were in Wailea and where we went while we were there. We heard over and over again from whether it was the restaurants or the driver on the road to Hana or just folks that we were talking to in the hotel, etc., that people aren't coming. That the tourism, the community, it's so down because people think Maui burned. They think the whole island burned and Lahaina burned.
Lahaina was a place you couldn't even really stay. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like maybe
right.
an Airbnb, but there are
No,
no
these were
hotels
shops
there.
and
It was a
and
village.
and right.
Yeah. I mean,
And that's gone. But the rest of the island, man, they're open for business. And I don't need to do a commercial for Maui, but it is
Jesus, no.
magnificent.
I mean, it's
We we
magnificent.
we did a sunset sail
Uh-huh.
and whale watching. Man, we were seeing humpbacks coming out of the water
See, now
and
I saw it from the
eating and
cliff. I,
drinking.
I mean, I saw it, but I didn't see it out in the
Beautiful.
water,
It
right?
was
I've seen
beautiful.
people out there do all day. It's not my jam
I'm
to
not
get on a
doing all
boat,
day. I'm
go
not
out and
doing
back.
all day, but we did a dinner thing. It was 2.5 hours. It was perfect. Big catamaran, good alcohol, good dinner, good food, lots of friends, meet new friends.
I love that.
Met a bunch of people and sunset. I don't have to tell you, the sunset and is over the water is just perfect. And so a great time was had by all.
All
And it was
right.
two
So
all
Leonard
two of them.
Raskin is here. I want to bring this thing full circle because, I mean, look, we could sit here and cry about the Ravens and bitch about the Chiefs or whatever. I'd rather talk some baseball with you because I think that was certainly like your first love as
Pitchers
a
and
kid.
catchers, pitchers
And,
and catchers coming in.
well, I mean, the new ownership coming in
Yes, how about
more than
that?
anything else.
That
That's
was the
sort of
man I had been tipped to, Mr. Rubenstein.
Rubenstein. I think it's
Rubenstein.
Stein. I think it's
Okay,
Stein, not Stein, but I'm
okay.
not sure. It's
Hedge
Feinstein,
fund guy,
Feinstein,
hedge fund guy,
not
made a
sure.
bunch of money from Baltimore, uh, buying the team. I told you when we spoke over all the stadium stuff that I thought it was possible. They were certainly talking about it. Then they denied they were talking about it, but go figure that Angelos wouldn't tell the truth. But then the thing that, again, as I said to you, struck me, a lot of taxes to be paid unless they figured out some way not to pay them on sale of the team while Peter's still alive. So very interesting. I would like to see the behind the scenes structure of the deal, but
If I'm
it's
guessing, that's a percentage that D'Angelo's family stays in the deal until such point when dad expires, but gives up control, and
yeah, I don't know how they
40% when
figured
they
it.
have 30%. So sell enough of the percentage to give Rubenstein
Yeah, but
control
still,
because
but
there's another
still,
30% outside the control of Angelo. So I think the way it was going to be done was 40, 30, 30 until such point, like
yep,
Steve
yep,
with Art Modell saying,
right.
it's a 5-year balloon or whatever it is,
Yeah,
right?
whatever it is, it's not my issue. And 1.7 billion, you pay the taxes, and life goes on. That ain't
Well,
so
the only
bad.
thing we need to know is who's running it and how and what their
That's right.
intentions
And what
are
are
and what
they
their
what are they going
strategy
to
is.
do about the team? That's exactly right. That's what we care about. And we made a trade for a high
Pitcher?
end starting pitcher. There's rumor they're going after another one. Very interesting. Now is the time. And you got the kids ready to come up. You got the kids that already came up. I'm looking
Can
forward
you
to a
imagine if there's a
fabulous season.
parade here in November? Like
I'm
seriously,
I'm
can
ready.
you imagine if the Ravens are 5-3 and there's a parade here in first week in November
Five
because
and
this team
three.
gets it
Why are they going
done?
to be 5-3? They're going to be 8-0.
Okay, fair enough.
6-2. I mean, come on, give them the benefit of the doubt. What I was listening to the post game on the Super Bowl, and one of the guys, it was very interesting. One of the Chiefs players said, we had to win. We had to go to Buffalo and beat Buffalo. He said, and then we had to go to Baltimore and beat the best team in the league. And I think they were the best team in the league and the MVP. I mean, there's no excuse. They lost because they were out coached, apparently, clearly. And I almost saw it in the Super Bowl. San Francisco decided they wanted to not run. I don't know why. Kansas City ain't that good against the run, but they decided they didn't want to use McCaffrey, who only had like, I don't know, 160 yards, could have had 300 if they'd have kept giving him the ball. But hey, I'm
That was
with
a
you, man.
fascinating Super Bowl, man.
It
Like just
was. It
from a
was a
like
strategic.
slow start and then really
Yep.
like revved up and became like high stakes poker all the way
Yep.
through. Decisions made in overtime, 4th and 3,
Yeah,
like all
wild
sorts of
stuff.
things going
Wild
on in that
stuff.
game.
It was
Really.
a it was a great game. It was a game of football chess. They were working. And
Yeah.
I think fourth and one for the Chiefs in overtime. I said to my wife before they even came out of that huddle, I said, Mahomes ain't giving up that ball. Nobody's touching that ball but him. And he went and ran for 15 yards or 18, 20, whatever it was. I said, nobody's touching that ball. I mean, can you imagine 4th and 1, overtime, Ravens, and Lamar not running for the first down? Come on. Let's not kid
Heresy,
ourselves.
right?
Right. So Mahomes, he made it happen. The dude is right now the gold standard, let's face it. But we have the Orioles. We have spring training coming. We're done with the snow. We're done with the snow. Enough winter. Winter's over. We had our 8 inches or whatever
Says the
it
guy
was.
who was in Hawaii for 10 days.
Right. I'm done with winter. Although, I don't care. I love
Oh
winter.
man, I'm
I'm all
checking
for it.
Maui's weather right now. I got to figure this out,
Sunny,
you know.
sunny and 80. It is 5 hours behind, which when you don't tell people you're going to Maui, because it's like, you want to just go on vacation, and they decide to call your cell phone at 3:30 in the morning
Dude, what are they doing?
because it's 8:30 here.
Leave you
Like,
alone.
most people know that I don't do 8:30 in the morning anyway.
Right.
But when I'm in Maui and it's 3:30, wow.
Leonard, did I not text you and say it's 3 a.m. for you right now to your body and
Yeah,
Hey, listen, I'll give you a little homework here and you can give me a minute on it
do
now,
it.
but think it
Do it.
through.
You
What do
got it.
you really want to see from the new owners?
What do I want to see? I want to see community. I mean, that's that simple.
How about that? All
I
right.
want to see the team. I want to see the team be a winner, and they're moving in that direction because the baseball people. So let the baseball people do baseball, and I want to see the owners do community. Look, we have a gem. This thing called Camden Yards, by all accounts, is the best stadium in the league. Now, I haven't been to all of them, but I've been to there, and it's magnificent. And why? How could you own this team and this gem and not be out in the city? Now, I don't know if it clearly wasn't them, and I know you have your issues with the Ravens now. I get it, but at the end of the year, the Ravens brought in Cal Ripken to be the captain of the team the day or whatever it was that he was, and they brought in Mr. Hyde, not Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and Adam Jones and
Well, Adam
whoever
Jones has
else.
always
No,
participated
but
with
I'm just
the
saying
with the
they
Ravens.
brought in
Yeah.
8 guys. They brought in, I think, 8 or 10 guys during the playoff game and introduced them to the crowd. The crowd went crazy.
Right, of course they did. Team won
So
101 games, right?
that's right.
Right.
That's right. So let's
Yeah.
use this asset and let's talk about Baltimore.
It's
I
always
mean,
been underutilized,
I
Leonard.
heard
It was always my beef.
Patrick Mahomes on the Super Bowl and Travis Kelce on the Super Bowl. Now I know you just won the game and all that, but they're talking about Kansas City, greatest fans in the world, greatest city in America. That's what you need. You need ownership to engage the community and say, this is Baltimore, this is Maryland. I know they can't say the hell with the Nationals, but who cares about the Nationals, man? Who
Attaboy.
cares?
Spoken like a real Baltimorean.
Yeah, who
Leonard Raskin is
cares?
here.
I didn't like the Redskins. I don't like the Nationals. Who
By the way,
cares?
this thing's such a hit when I show it off. It is
Uh,
it's the Raskin Global crab mallet. It
the
has a beer
quintessential,
opener.
the
It's quintessential.
quintessential crab
Everybody
mallet.
that sees it, they're like, "Oh, I got to get one of those."
Uh,
Leonard, I'm doing the show at
they
Costas
can have
last
one.
Tuesday. It's like lunchtime at 12:30, and my son was there all day, sort of maitre ding and producing and whatnot. We were talking about this great piece they did on the Costas. We talked about the American Dream. Mr. Costas came here with $5 in his pocket.
Right.
Bill Costas, the whole deal, right? And there's a Vice Network thing. But anyway, it's the middle of the day. I'm doing some charity thing with a church group, and I'm getting weepy eyed because. And then I
Yeah.
hear, and I look up and I'm like, Crab House, man. It's only one sound of like,
That's right.
what that's, but it was such an awkward sound at 12:30 in the afternoon. Then I looked up and saw the Costa sign and I'm like, oh yeah, it's crabs. I mean,
That's right.
just out of the blue, you hear bang,
That's
bang,
right.
bang. So
the only thing we didn't do was if we'd have been home, we would have had crabs on our anniversary, but we didn't. So that's how we roll. So I'm just gonna have to get some this week and do Valentine's Day crabs instead.
Well, you're a Valentine sweetheart, love, warm my heart from Hawaii and from Maui. And Leonard Raskin can be found at RaskinGlobal.com. Also at the front of BaltimorePositive.com. I'm not doing a whole bunch this week. We've done a whole bunch last week of more important stuff than talking about even the Super Bowl or anything like that. It was a cup of Super Bowl for our friends at the Maryland Food Bank. I'm going to be back out on the road giving these out. I gave out hundreds of these last week through 5 days. I gave everything I had left over except like 3 of them at Hollywood Casino on Sunday night. I had winners. I had 10 times winners. We had fun. So this week, happy Valentine's Day. Go out, snuggle someone you love, and please, if you're listening to anything we're talking about here, continue to tune in, hear these stories. If you got a couple of extra bucks, you got a little bit of extra time, elbow grease, if there's a way for you to volunteer, a way to help in any way that any of these animals, people, humans, military, children, women,
Strike your heart,
veterans.
man. Strike your heart.
Yeah. If there's something that helps that you feel about the way Leonard Raskin feels about the Mount Washington Pediatric Hospital, as an example, pitch in, pick up, help in, let me know you're
Tax
doing it.
deductible.
There you see, I love that. See, this is where the finance part comes in.
There you
All
go.
right, I'm taking a
There you
break.
go.
I'm talked out. Everybody in Baltimore knows that. I'm Nestor.
Amen.
We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. Back for more good stuff right after this.